business.
It's hundreds of thousands of pages.
The words of Newman and Woodward themselves form the core of the documentary.
The element that the kids gave me that I knew was gold was an abandoned memoir that Paul was writing in the mid-'80s. He had his best friend, Stuart Stern, interview all the most important people in his life, John Huston, Robert Altman, and people that he worked with.
And Joanne.
And Joanne. He even interviewed his ex-wife.
Those interviews were recorded, yet you won't be hearing them, because in 1991, Paul Newman literally set the tapes on fire.
The story is that he took them down to the dump and burned them.
But he didn't burn the transcripts.
And then I had this idea that what if I asked all my actor friends to play these parts and bring them back to life? I'm trying to turn it into kind of like a play with voices, a community looking back.
George Clooney plays Newman.
The glue that held Joanne and me together.
Wow.
Hi everyone, my name is Tara Smith. I am the newly minted scriptwriter and creator of a film called Grey Rose. Grey Rose is a film that looks at modern day society and the current problems that we're having with sensationalized newspaper headlines and tries to figure out how we can solve these issues. Enlisted the help of some of my friends here in Hollywood and wanted to just get their feedback from their
Oh, sorry to startle you.
I'm a bit worried that the content that is being
And me together was that anything
Back to life. I'm trying to turn it into...
Clea thought a veteran stage and screen actor like Hawk would understand the pressures her parents faced.
They were two really complicated people. They were a really complicated business.
It's hundreds of thousands of pages.
The words of Newman and Woodward themselves form the core of the documentary.
The element that the kids gave me that I knew was gold was an abandoned memoir that Paul was writing in the mid-'80s. He had his best friend, Stuart Stern, interview all the most important people in his life, John Huston, Robert Altman, and people that he worked with.
And Joanne.
And Joanne. He even interviewed his ex-wife.
Those interviews were recorded, yet you won't be hearing them, because in 1991, Paul Newman literally set the tapes on fire.
The story is that he took them down to the dump and burned them.
But he didn't burn the transcripts.
And then I had this idea that what if I asked all my actor friends to play these parts and bring them back to life? I'm trying to turn it into kind of like a play with voices, a community looking back.
headlines and tries to figure out how we can solve these issues. Enlisted the help of some of my friends here in Hollywood and wanted to just get their feedback and their input.
Well, when I came to America, I was very disappointed by Americans because they have a lot of racism, honestly. And I have a lot of friends from like Filipino friends
this world is such a, and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a gimme, gimme, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business. You want to be successful? You want to be like Trump? Gimme, gimme, gimme. Push, 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 push. Step, step, step. Crush, crush, crush. That's how it all is. And it's like nobody ever stopped. Just I feel like instead of us just being like slavery's bad, slavery's bad, bad whitey, bad whitey. I mean, all right, let's stop that. And everybody's smart enough to know that. I mean, we've been slighted, and we want ours. And I don't mean by like ours, 40 acres and a mule, because we passed that. But we need help. I mean, for us to be on our own 2 feet, us meaning you, or us meaning black people, whatever you want to take it from. For us to be on our own 2 feet, we do need help. Because we have been here. We have been a good friend. If you want to make it a relationship type thing, we have been there, and now we deserve our payback. It's like you got a friend that you don't never look out for. You know, you dressed up in jewels. Now America's got jewels, and they paid and everything, and they lending money to everybody except us. And it's like, everybody need a little help on their way to being, self-reliant. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing about the album, about the Special Olympics. Everybody need a little something, and they to be independent. No independent person just grew up and was born independent. You worked and you learned teamwork and you learned cooperation and unity and struggle, and then you became independent. And we have to teach that and instill that. And why is it that they want to do that? I mean, if this is truly a melting pot in the country where we care about it, Lady Liberty got a hand like this, she really loves us, then we really need to be like that. And it needs to be the black kids. If there's a white person who got money, then we need to help them. We need to help black kids, Mexican kids, Korean kids, whatever. But it needs to be real. And it needs to be before we all die, and then you say, oh, I made a mistake. We should have gave them some money. We really should have helped these folks. It's going to be too late. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you got to pay your own karma. And that's when God makes you punish. When God punishes you. Because I feel like, it's too much money.
Right there. Is it still freezing outside? Good night.
Yeah, I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for 36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic. That's just real. That is just stupid. There's no way Michael Jackson should have, or whoever Jackson, should have $1 million, quadruple $1 billion, and then there's people starving. There's no way. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants. If they earned it, then I think that's good, and I think they deserve it. But even if you earned it, you still owe. Because look at me, I don't have that mega money, but I feel guilty walking by somebody. I got to give them some mail. And if I know I got $3,000 in my pocket, I feel like it's wrong to give that person a quarter or $1. It's wrong. Only you know what you got in your pocket. And that's wrong. No matter what they do, if they take it and drink it, they take it and drink it. But, I mean, you got. You understand? And we all know how hard it is, and it's not about if you're good or you bad. So since it's not about if you're good or you bad, we know that because he don't got don't mean he was bad. Or don't mean he's a criminal, or don't mean he's crazy, or a drug addict, or none of that. It just means he don't got. And ain't it bad that you got 30? I mean, can you imagine somebody having $32 million? 32 million dollars, and this person has nothing, and you can sleep, you can still go to the movies about. I mean, and then these are the type of people that get humanitarian awards, millionaires. How can they be humanitarians? By the fact that they millionaires and there's so many poor people shows how unhumane they are. You know what I'm saying? And that bugs me. Not saying that when I'm never gonna be rich, and you know what I'm saying, but I'm saying it's a struggle, and I think everybody deserves it. And I think there's a way to pay these people. I think there is a way. It just takes to be revolutionary, and it takes to do something out of the ordinary. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that if we just said, okay, I got an idea. No more porno buildings. You know what I'm saying? Let's build houses. No more polo.
Nigga, we could punish his ass on that right there. Shit. For real.
Games. Let's build houses for poor people. You know what I'm saying? Or look, okay, I know you're rich. I know you got $40 billion, but can you just keep it to one house? You only need one house. And if you only got 2 kids, can you just keep it to 2 rooms? I mean, why have 52 rooms and you know there's somebody with no room? It just don't make sense to me. It don't. And then these people celebrate Christmas, they got big trees, huge trees, all the little trimmings. Everybody got gifts, and it's my start. And they're having a white Christmas. They're having a great Christmas, eggnog and the whole nine. That's not fair to them.
What? What does he
They're having
say?
a great Christmas. Two kids, can you just keep? Okay. I got an idea. No more porno buildings. You know what I'm saying? Let's build houses. Or no more polo games. Let's build houses for poor people. You know what I'm saying? Or look, okay, I know you're rich. I know you got $40 billion, but can you just keep it to one house? You only need one house. And if you only got two kids, can you just keep it to 2 rooms? I mean, why have 52 rooms and you notice somebody with no room? It just don't make sense to me. It don't. And then these people celebrate Christmas. They got big trees, huge. You know what I'm saying? And that bugs me. Not saying that when I'm never gonna be rich and you know what I'm saying, but I'm saying it's a struggle, and I think everybody deserves it. And I think there's a way to pay these people. I think there is a way. It just takes to be revolutionary, and it takes to do something out of the ordinary. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that if we just said, okay, I got an idea. No more porno buildings. You know what I'm saying? Let's build. It's a struggle, and I mean, crazy or a drug addict or none of that. It just means you don't got. And ain't it bad that you got? I mean, can you imagine somebody having $32 million? 32 million dollars, and this person has nothing, and you can sleep. You can still go to the movies about. I mean, and then these are the type of people that get humanitarian awards.
What was the moment like when you first found out you were officially hosting?
It's so funny because my mom called me and literally she's like this. And I'm like, Mom, what you doing? Like, what are you looking like that for? She's like, check the text. And like, I'm looking at my text. As soon as I look at my text, I go back to FaceTime and I'm like this. And we both start laughing crazy, like dying laughing and just like celebrating. And that day I was just like, wow, we doing a VMA. Let's go, baby.
We're out here with the queen, the woman of the hour, Keke Palmer. First of all, I'm so personally excited for you.
Over the past many years, we've been hearing story after story of how certain Hollywood stars aren't who they appear to be. Some of them just have terrible political views and choose to support people who have been proven to be bigots, and more. Some, however, have been accused of and proven to be, in some cases, terrible people who prey on others because their status gives them power. One such person is apparently...
We really feel it's important as a franchisor to own restaurants. And so we're just not in it for practice. We're in it to actually earn a return on the business. And I know that there's a trend in today's franchise world in the States to really try and divest a lot of franchise locations and go down and not own a lot of stores. We think that that's a mistake. We think it's really important that we own a good portion of our system. Currently, we own about 70 restaurants that comprises 15 to 18% of the system, and that feels pretty good to us. And the reason why we believe that's important is we need to know how to operate restaurants. My chief operator for company stores, Greg Flory, he's been in the pizza business for 30 plus years. I started my career making hamburgers at Burger King, so I can still make a Whopper today. You know, I'm not selling Whoppers, but I can still make a Whopper today if you want me to. And to me, when you've got the leader of the organization, the leader of company stores, sort of embedded in a operating culture, a lot of great things happen from that. What we find within our company, it's really important within the restaurant business to, not only deliver great service to your guests and operate great restaurants, but you need to figure out how to make a buck doing it. And, my background coming from a finance background at PepsiCo and Pizza Hut, starting here as the chief financial officer, we really are grounded in fact-based decision-making. We really provide franchisees with tools and systems that they need. And the same thing with our store managers. We develop those financial tools to get as much profit as we can
Burger King announcing a $400 million investment in revitalizing stores, advertising, and digital in an effort to try and accelerate growth. Burger King is a part of the restaurant brand's portfolio, which includes Tim Hortons, Firehouse Subs, and Popeyes. And joining us right now is Jose Sill. He is Restaurant Brand CEO. Jose, thanks for being here today. It's really good to see you and talk about some of these big moves.
Yeah, thanks for having me here, and great to spend a few minutes with you guys.
I mean, I think the thing that really caught my attention is $400 million. I believe $150 million of that is for advertising and digital spend.
That's right.
I mean, that's a big move to be taking at a time when people are worried about us heading into a recession. Generally, that's when you see people pull back on advertising. Why are you making these moves?
Well, look, we're very proud of the work that our team has done alongside franchisees and our team members, and we believe in the Burger King brand. We think it has tremendous room for growth in the U.S., and the investment that we're making is essentially confirmation in our conviction that there's tremendous opportunity here. It's the right time to do it. We have the right team, the right plan. We had north of 90%, actually well north of 90% support from our franchisees last week in Las Vegas behind the plan and behind the investments, and they're co-investing as well.
Now to that big shakeup at McDonald's, the CEO forced out because of what the company calls a consensual relationship with an employee. That's a violation of company policy. Our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, is here with that story. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, Robin. Yeah, that's right. This was a big surprise. The company's board on Friday voted to remove the McDonald's CEO from the role, saying he, quote, violated company policy and demonstrated poor judgment involving a recent consensual relationship with an employee.
McDonald's CEO Steve Easterbrook fired as head of the fast food chain's empire, admitting to what he describes as a consensual affair with an employee who worked under him. The corporation says the British executive demonstrated poor judgment involving a recent consensual relationship with an employee. No details have been disclosed about the employee or the relationship, but in an email to his staff, Easterbrook confirmed the alleged affair, adding, given the values of the company, I agree with the board that it is time for me to move on. He had been serving as president and CEO since 2015. Easterbrook, who led the company to double its shares since his start, earned $15.9 million last year, according to the Wall Street Journal.
They love the value of it.
And while McDonald's board voted to remove him for a violation of company policy, Easterbrook will be entitled to a sizable golden parachute, the terms of which will be made public later today.
Burger King announcing a $400 million investment in revitalizing stores, advertising, and digital in an effort to try and accelerate growth. Burger King is a part of the restaurant brand's portfolio, which includes Tim Hortons, Firehouse Subs, and Popeyes. And joining us right now is Jose Sill. He is Restaurant Brand CEO. Jose, thanks for being here today. It's really good to see you and talk about some of these big moves.
Yeah, thanks for having me here, and great to spend a
Palace has announced the death of Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history.
You might have heard the Queen is dead and the world is in mourning.
Really quite surprised at how emotional I felt, actually.
Sort of like a numb, empty feeling.
Take down the bunting from the Jubilee, paint it black, and, respectfully, hang it up again. But respect doesn't have to mean reverence, even if she was a bit like the nations now. Many people find it hard to overlook the fact that the global significance and power of the British monarchy stems from the enslavement and exploitation of people of colour. As the world remembers the most iconic moments from the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, it's important to give equal attention to the human cost that made it possible.
Royal Empires of Dirt, a show about how British monarchs got rich at the expense of everyone else.
Hey, go on, Wena.